Hi guys, we are live. Welcome to another day tips live, and in this quick live, I'm going to be delving into email marketing and how you guys can kind of start using email marketing to help you to generate sales back to your website, whether you're doing e-commerce, whether you're selling your services through your website. I'm going to be speaking kind of about the basics to generating sales and to start, getting customers through the door, making money, making sales with your email marketing. Now, I do have some notes. So if you see me glance down, just so that I don't forget anything whilst I'm live, because, sometimes with all the questions and stuff, you can forget to say certain things. Welcome to all of you guys who are joining. Hope you've been well. Let me know how you're doing in the chat. Also, if you have any questions, particularly pertaining to email marketing, then do let me know in the chat. I'm going to be answering as many questions. Well, I'm going to be answering all of the questions. Every single question that relates to email marketing, I'm going to be answering. And if you have any other questions as well, then do let me know in the chat and I'll do my best to get round to those questions. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing. I hope you have all been doing okay. Myself, the last couple of weeks has been, a little bit stressful with everything going on in the news, everything going on social media, Black Lives Matter campaigns mixed with coronavirus. And yeah, it's a lot. And I'm sure it's been a lot for you guys as well. Quick thing as well, while some of you guys are probably still coming online, I wanted to say a huge thank you for all of the support from the video that I did do about George Floyd and everything that was going on in America. I really appreciate all of the support, all of the comments on that video. It was a tough time for a lot of us to watch that, and it's sad what's going on right now. But yeah, huge thank you to everyone who watched, who commented, who shared, who supported, and didn't get annoyed that it wasn't my usual marketing video. But yeah, getting straight into it, I wanted to start this live stream off by speaking about platform, because there's loads of different platforms available to you when it comes to like choosing your email marketing. And what are some of the things that you need to keep out for? What are some of the things that you need to look into when you're thinking about platforms? Now, for example, Squarespace. I'm seeing some of the questions come in. I'm going to get to those, but thank you. Make sure you're leaving your questions and all of your comments in the chat, and I'll get to them. But yeah, Squarespace, for example, if you're using Squarespace, they have their own internal email marketing software. So you might just be like, why am I going to go and buy an email marketing software or go and purchase one when I have Squarespace available to me? Now, right out of the gate, I don't know every single email marketing platform because there's so many and there's too many out there for me to kind of, know all of them. But there are a couple of things that you want to kind of know right out of the gate about whether or not this is an email marketing platform that is going to be worth your time and worth your money. Now, the first thing obviously is price. So my email marketing software, probably everyone on this chat, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know Aweber is the one that I personally use and highly, highly, highly recommend. They don't pay me to shout out their product as much as I do. Now I have had meetings with them, but they've never sponsored a video. But the reason why I shout them out so much is because I actually really enjoy using their software. And I think it's an excellent software for you guys to be using as well. Now, I know a lot of you have gone kind of against my advice, not against my advice, but a lot of you have chosen MailChimp. And I understand why. MailChimp is a very popular platform as well. It's quite easy to use. And one of the main benefits to using MailChimp is that it's free to start off with. Aweber, you only get like two weeks free, and then you have to start paying $19 a month. And that puts some people off of using it. But here's the thing you have to kind of know about MailChimp, the difference between MailChimp and Aweber. Although MailChimp is a great platform and there's loads of things you can do with MailChimp, you actually have to pay in order to use certain features that you might need to use anyway. So some of the things I'm going to be even speaking about in this live, you can't do with the free plan on MailChimp. You're going to have to upgrade anyway. So if you're going to have to upgrade anyway and you're going to have to pay anyway, then you might as well just use the platform that you want to be using. So I would say take out trials with some of the main ones out there, main platforms out there. And, you know, more or less all of them offer you a free trial. So I would take out trials with all of them, have a play about with them, and see which one kind of works best for you. But also look at the pricing strategy as well, because maybe they're offering something only at a higher tier. So like I said, with MailChimp, there's certain things you only get at a higher tier that maybe you want and need in your business. So always look at it in terms of what you need and want in your business. Can this particular email marketing platform facilitate what it is that you need from email marketing? So that's one thing that you want to keep in mind. Another thing is you're going to probably be paying more money if you have a bigger email list. Now, I see this not, I don't want to say all of the time, but some of the people who I work with, some of my clients have bigger lists. You know, they might have a really big following on social media, for example. And if you have like a list of like 20,000 people, that's going to cost you some money to host those email addresses. And there are a lot of people who kind of don't want to spend the money to host those people. But also, as your email list starts to grow, that's a great thing. But you want to make sure that you're actually nurturing that list. You know, I'm going to be speaking about these kinds of things as well, but just kind of like, you know, going over a couple of things briefly. You need to be nurturing your list, because as your list grows, you're going to be paying more, regardless of what platform you're using. As your email list increases, you're going to have to pay more to maintain that email list. For example, whatever you're paying at 0 subscribers on MailChimp, when you reach 10,000, they're going to charge you more. That's just the name of the game. But that being said, if you're doing the right kinds of things, you will be making a lot more money at 10,000 subscribers on your email list than you are at 100 anyway. So it shouldn't really work out that bad for you. Now, you can do email marketing very bad as well. There are people who do it extremely bad. So just because you have 10,000 people on your email list doesn't equate necessarily to a profitable business. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They think, I just want to build my list and get loads of email addresses. No, you want the right people on your email list. You can have a very profitable email list with just 500 or less people on there. You don't need to have a 2 million person email list to have a £2 million year. That's just not the way email marketing works. And likewise, you can have a really big email list and it not generate you the kind of income that you was hoping that it would generate you. So it's not about the size of your list. In this case, this is one of the instances where size does not matter. Take your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about email list size here. But yeah, this is one scenario where size doesn't matter. It matters who is on your email list. So if you're selling, I don't know, if you're selling, let's say you're selling wedding gifts, for example, then you want people on your email list who are likely to buy wedding gifts. You know, if you're selling, for example, you know, children's clothes on your website, then you want people on your mailing list who have children. You know, it sounds really simple. It sounds really simple, but this is a few fundamental basic mistakes that a lot of people make. They have the wrong kind of people on their email list. And although they might have a lot of people, it's the wrong kind of people. Now, just to throw it out there as well, you don't want to put people on your list who haven't opted in. Again, this is really obvious, and I'm going to get into some of the more technical tips, but just to kind of get the, you know, the basic tips out of the way. You don't want someone on your list who hasn't agreed to be there for so many reasons. The first reason being that it is illegal. GDPR rules have come out most recently, you know, and data protection is super important. And you shouldn't be siphoning people's information. If someone hasn't asked to be on your email list, or if you haven't asked someone for their permission to put them on your email list, don't put them on your email list. Now, one of the reasons why I'm stressing this is because people do that to me as well. Because my email is all over the internet, there are people who use my email and just put it on their email list, and I'm signed up for like webinars and loads of different things that I never registered for. And I understand that's the name of the game, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to just take people's email addresses without telling them or without asking them, because, you know, not only is that very deceitful and illegal, but that's not going to convert well into sales either. Because if someone, if I haven't opted in to be on your email list, chances are I'm not going to be interested in whatever it is that you're selling on your website or you're selling through your emails. Chances are I'm just going to ignore the emails that come, or I'm just going to unsubscribe. And if I'm ignoring all of the emails, eventually they're going to go into my spam folder anyway. And that's super important that your as many emails as possible are not heading in the spam folder. Now, when your list gets to a certain size, there are going to be emails that you send to your list that just end up in the spam folder. You know, there's going to be not everyone. Let's say you've got 800 people on your list. If you send an email to them right now, there's going to be a percentage that end in the spam folder. But you want to decrease that percentage as much as possible, because obviously you want to increase your quality score. So, you know, the major email providers, Yahoo, Gmail, and all of the other ones that are out there, they look at something called quality score. So, you know, if people are opening your emails, if people are interacting with your emails, if people are clicking the links in your emails and engaging with your emails, and if it doesn't look, you know, like a dodgy email, then you increase your chances of your email landing in the inbox. So you don't want to be doing all this work to try and build your email list, and then all of your emails are landing in spam, or, you know, the vast majority of your emails are landing in spam. So a great way to do this is to make sure that people actually want to be on your email list. A really cool way to do this as well is by utilizing something known as a double opt-in. Just as a reminder, guys, if I'm going too fast for you or you want me to explain something again, do let me know in the chat. This is what this is all about. You know, I want to hear from you guys as well. So let me know if you have questions. Share this stream as well with a friend or a family member who's running a business and they need help with their email. But yeah, I'm going to be getting to all of your questions. So yeah, so you can do what's known as a double opt-in. So this basically means, Oscar, I just seen Oscar Gonzalez in the chat. Great to see you, Oscar. We done a video together as well. So guys, you can check out Oscar Gonzalez's channel and you'll see that interview. But yeah, getting back on topic, I'm sure Oscar knows a lot about email as well, because we met at the Affiliate Summit, which is a marketing summit. But with regards to emails, you have what's known as a double opt-in. So if you're using Aweber or MailChimp, Constant Contact, whatever it is that you might be using, you can select for people to confirm that they actually want to be on your email list. So this is something that I do with a lot of my email marketing campaigns. And you might be thinking, why would I want this? You know, if someone's entered their name and email address, they're just on my email, you know, and I don't want them double opting in. But it can be very beneficial for you to use this double opt-in. So someone has to be very committed to get onto my email list. So I know the people who are on my email list actually want to be there. So you might notice this, for example, when you know, download something from the internet and then you have to go into your email and it says, hey, you know, confirm that you want this thing, or confirm that this is your email address. And when you click that, then you're actually on the email list. So that's what that is all about. Hi, Sam. It's been crazy, but we have to keep going. Yep, it has been very crazy. Hi, is there a way to check if emails are being read? Yes. So you can look into your analytics. I'm going to get to that as well somewhere in this live, but you can check your analytics and you can see the percentages of what emails are doing better than others. So once you send out your emails, you want to make sure you look at these numbers and see what percentage of people are opening, what percentage of people are clicking, and kind of gauge that and keep a close eye on it and see if you notice any trends. And obviously you can kind of tweak your emails. You can also split test your emails as well with a lot of email marketing softwares, again, depending on what plan it is that you're using. But split test is basically, let's say you have 500 people on your list. You can send, an email to a portion of them, and another email to a portion of them, so half of them, so 250 and 250, and see basically what email performs better. So that can be a great way for you to kind of know what emails resonate best with your email list. So yeah, so you have the double opt-in. Like I said, it sounds counterintuitive. Why would you want someone to double opt-in? And there's people out there as well who do very well, who don't use double opt-in, and they do well as well. I would be interested to know if anyone on this chat does do email marketing and uses double opt-in, then let me know in the chat and let me know your reasons for using it or not using it as well. That would just be interesting to know if anybody on here is using it. So the next thing I want to speak about is Optin Pages. Again, if you haven't, I've got an agenda here of things I'm going to talk about, but if you have questions, feel free to put them in, because I want to answer as many questions as possible so you guys can get as much value from this as possible. Oscar Gonzalez is saying, I use both depending on situation. I do as well. So I use double opt-in, particularly on social media. So if I'm posting out a video on YouTube, or if I'm doing social media marketing on Instagram, YouTube is my main platform, but that's where I do double opt-in, because I want to make sure people watching my video actually want what it is I'm giving away and actually want to be on my list. I even make it really clear as well. When someone's opting in, look, if all you want is my free giveaway, then just unsubscribe. And I tell people how to do it, because I don't want anyone on my list who doesn't want to receive my emails. I'd rather have a smaller list of people who want my emails than a huge list of people who are not interested. And then I use single opt-ins normally when I'm running paid traffic campaigns. So if I'm doing a campaign on using Google ads, if I'm doing a campaign on Facebook ads, I tend to use the single opt-in there as well. Rennie is saying, have you noticed a lower open rate in recent months due to COVID-19? Really good question. I personally have only seen increases in my list. I haven't noticed any decreases in open rates. That's because my list is growing every single day. So literally, if I send an email out today, it's going to be a higher open rate than it was yesterday because there's just more people on there. So I haven't necessarily noticed a smaller amount due to this particular period, maybe even a bigger amount because more people are consuming this type of content. So I haven't noticed any trends, but that's a good thing that Rennie suggested there as well, is to keep an eye out for trends. You can in Aweber, I know you can do it. You can probably do it in MailChimp as well, but I've never done it before. But you can actually check your trends in terms of time as well. So if you wanted to check your trends over like a year period and see if there's anything, maybe you had a spike in August, maybe there was a particular event, or I don't know, some people sell products that are seasonal. So you might get a spike in traffic. COVID-19 might also might have impacted your open rates for whatever reason. I don't know what that might be. It will be dependent on your niche. Oscar Gonzalez is saying, yeah, double opt-in for long-term and legacy content, but single sometimes is good for first contact over a cold interaction. I use it in the exact same way, Oscar, as well. We got to get Oscar on this channel to speak about some of the marketing things he does. Moneymaker is asking, one way grow a list ID you are starting from scratch is to buy one. It must be GDPR compliant, scrubbed recently to remove old email addresses and fit your customer profile. I've never actually bought data, but I do know people who have. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to do. It can be a very lucrative thing to do as well. But that's a conversation for a whole nother video. But you are right. You are right in the sense that, you want to make sure you're buying from a good provider. But yeah, that's a conversation. That's a whole different thing in itself, is buying a list. One thing that I have done, which is similar, is something called solo ads. So I've done videos before on solo ads. So, maybe go and check those videos out. But a solo ad is basically when there's loads of different definitions, but the definition I like is when you're renting someone else's email list. So the way I like to do this is I go to popular blogs in my industry. So let's say you sell fashion related stuff, and you don't have a big email list, or maybe you do, but maybe you're doing a webinar and you're trying to get as many people on, or you're doing a whatever you're doing promotion, you can go to a fashion blog that is related to your niche, and you need to kind of be confident that that blog is serving the demographic that you are targeting. That's really important as well. Normally they have a media pack as well. So if you go to any of the popular websites out there, they'll have what's known as a media pack. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, look for the media pack. And when you click on that, it will show you all of the analytics, all of the kind of demographics, the psychographic, everything you need to know about their demographic, or of the people who read their blog and the people who are on their email list. And they should also kind of give you a price of how much it is to send a solo ad, or sometimes it's called a soloist ad or something like that, or an email blast or whatever it is. They'll tell you how big their list is. It could be a 5,000 person list. It could be a 10,000 person list or more. And you can pay that company to send an email on your behalf. Now, I've done this before. I tend to use websites that I know are really big and popular, so it can be expensive. You know, you can start, it can start from anywhere between £1,000. So you could be, well, yeah, £1,000 if you're in the UK. If you're in the US, that equates to maybe about $1,300. I know there are solo ad providers that are cheaper. But if I'm buying traffic to someone's list, I want to make sure it's a good list. So my ones always tend to start from £1,000 upwards. But yeah, that's what I've done. So kind of going back on track, I'm loving the questions, by the way, guys. Keep asking. And if I've missed any questions, then just let me know again. Just write in again, because I probably missed it. But I wanted to go on and speak about opt-in pages, because opt-in pages are super important when it comes to email marketing. And, you know, I've done videos off the top of my head. I can't remember how many videos I've done on it, but I've done so many videos on opt-in pages. Now, an opt-in page, you probably, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you will know that an opt-in page is basically just a page that you set up, that the main aim of that page is to squeeze the email address or some sort of data, normally an email address, from your website visitor. Now, I say some sort of information because this doesn't have to be an email address. In some cases, it's a phone number. And in some cases, it's a name and an email address. In some other cases, it's a name and a phone number and an email address. So it really depends on what information it is that you need from your potential website visitor. And I don't say that lightly. Like, you really need to think about what information you actually need from them. And not only what you need from them, but what are they getting in return for giving you that information? It has to equate. And I see people making these mistakes all of the time. If you're going to ask for someone's mobile phone number, there needs to be a reason why they are giving you their mobile phone number. Are they getting a free consultation? Are you sending them something to, you know, by text message to their phone? You know, is there something within your opt-in? Is there something within your free giveaway or within your offer that requires them to give you their phone number? If there's nothing that requires them to give their phone number, then your opt-in rate, which is basically the percentage of people who leave their data with you, will be a lot lower. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. The more information you ask of someone on an opt-in page, the information you ask for. Do you just ask for the email? Do you ask for the name and email? Is there anyone on the chat that asks for mobile phone numbers? Let me know in the chat. But for me personally, I always ask for a first name and an email address. Rarely ever do I ask for phone number, even though phone number now is becoming really popular. You know, text message marketing is becoming the new wave, so to speak. You know, I don't do it personally, but I'm going to trial it and test it. And when I do start doing that, I'm going to be putting all of my findings on this channel as well. Rennie is saying giving your phone number is such a case. In such a case is weird. I wouldn't sign up at all. So yeah, it depends. It depends. Like, if you are a consultant, for example, then doing some sort of mobile phone opt-in it can be really great. You know, if And it can be really great as well. This is one thing I want you guys to know. If you're selling high ticket products, if you're selling products that generate sales through your email marketing, then it might be worth trying to convert some of your leads over the phone by doing telephone marketing. And one of a really great way to do that is to have, like I said, an offer that ties in with your with mobile phones. So for example, on my channel, I give away the formula. You guys know this. A lot of you have downloaded it. That's what I give away for free. If you go to my website, you will see that I've got my opt-in there on my website. Now, if I wanted to do a lot of consultation calls, and let's say my consultation calls started at £1,200 a month, like it's unlikely someone's going to download the formula and then from that go and buy a £12,000 product for me right away. I might want to get their number and say, hey, look, download the formula and give me your number and I'm going to call you for a free consultation. Or nowadays, you know, people can use Zoom, people can use Skype, so you don't have to do the free consultation via phone. You can do it on other means if you feel like you would have better opt-ins. But if you are asking for that information, just make sure that you're giving something away that requires that information, if that makes sense. If I'm just asking for a phone number just for the sake of it, then people are not going to really, you know, want to opt in. Oscar Gonzalez is saying that's it. Each field drops. Field counts a lot. Yeah, you know, the more information you ask for, the less likely someone is to make a purchase. What I've seen that kind of works well in some industries is you abandon, then at least you have their email address. You can send them back to that page if you want to. But I would always recommend get the email address first at least, and then send them to a page where they have to put out more information if that's something that you want to do as well. Now, another thing that I've seen as well is that works quite well is, you know, when you have a pop-up. So you might notice on some websites, when you click on their opt-in page, they have like a sign up button and you don't see the opt-in page. You don't see the name and the email address field. You just see something that says sign up. But when you click on it, boom, you know, a pop-up comes up and it says, hey, you know, you're almost there. Put your name and your email address in. So that's been proven to increase your opt-in rates. I can't necessarily say that I have, you know, statistical evidence in my personal experience of running ads, because that's just not something that I've tracked or something that I've tested a lot of. But I've seen a lot of studies done. I use a platform called Optin Monster. And, you know, it's a great platform. It's a WordPress plugin, but you can use it on fields. And, you know, websites like that will show you the statistics on what forms are converting best. So if those kind of double commitment forms where you have to click something and then a pop-up comes and then you enter your name and your email address, they tend to convert better because someone is already committed to, you know, taking the steps to being on your email list. So psychologically, you know, if they've clicked something and something pops up to them, they're like, oh, I might as well finish the step and put my name and email address in. So that can be a great way for you to kind of increase opt-ins on your opt-in pages. Let me know as well, guys, is there anything that you guys do to help you increase your opt-in pages? Because I'm going to run through a quick few things. If some of you guys are struggling to get email list subscribers, I'm going to be kind of running through some tips, but I might miss some. So do let me know in the chat what you guys are using, if you're using any. Again, leave your questions in the chat as well. So one of the things that I use, again, with Optin Monster, you definitely want to check out Optin Monster if you're serious about growing your email list, because I don't have the stats with me, but I did a video on Optin Monster on this channel, and my email list started growing by a lot more than it was. So I'm using two main features of the Optin Monster, kind of, you know, the two different campaigns. You will notice them if you go to my website. One is called an exit intent pop. So if you go to my website and you are scrolling away, so let's say you're going to exit out my website, you've had enough of my website now and you're trying to go away, you will notice a pop-up that says, hey, don't go yet, download the formula. And that has increased my my opt-in rate by quite a lot. And I thought, if I'm going to be honest, when I first started using it, I thought that was going to be the thing that increased my opt-ins the most. I thought that was going to be the biggest thing. But what I realized is the floating bar was actually the thing that increased my email list the most. I don't know if any of you guys have used this, but yeah, I think Sumo Me, I believe, have a floating bar that you can use, and it's I think it's free as well. At least it was free when I was checking it out. I don't know if it's still free, but if you can find any floating bar apps to add to your Squarespace site, your WordPress site, your Wix site, whatever it is, or you can use Optin Monster, the floating bar can help a lot. And the reason why the floating bar, I think anyway, converted better for me than the, you know, the, what was it? The exit intent pop, was because a lot more people now are using mobile phones. So although the exit intent pop does come up on mobile phones, the floating bar will stay with you. So if I've written an article, for example, and someone is scrolling through the article, the floating bar that is promoting my lead magnet is always there. So it follows the person, unless they literally X out of it. It follows the person, you know, throughout the whole experience of my website. And I've seen, you know, that really help to build my email list. Having a lead magnet is really important. I touch on it all the time, but you want to make sure your lead magnet is solid. Your lead magnet needs to be super solid, and it needs to really appeal to your target customer. So think about what is it that you're trying to sell, or who is it that you're trying to reach? Because you might not even have a solid product or service yet, but you might know who it is that you're serving, or who it is that you want to serve. So if you know that you want to serve men, for example, who have children, you want to serve parents, but men specifically, then you want to have an opt-in that you know would appeal to men who have children. So what kind of opt-in would appeal to a man that has a child? Maybe it's something like, I don't even know. I don't have a child, but maybe it could be something like how to get your child to sleep at night, or something like that. But obviously, well, that wasn't a great example, because it has to be something that separates a man parent from a woman parent. So it needs to be an issue. And that's why I said, you know, it takes a lot of thought. It's not always something you can just think of off the spot like this, but, you know, it takes some thought. What was someone who is a man and has a child? What is a free giveaway that would make them want to actually opt in? If you guys, what will bring them value? Don't just create something that you don't think will bring value. Like, actually put effort into thinking about what can you create that you think will actually be, you know, valuable to your target customer. What else have we got here in the chat? I don't like phone calls, so I wouldn't like to be bothered. We've got my advice: don't send long emails. I remember who sends me endless emails and don't open them. If it is super valuable, I'll continue opening. Okay, cool. So here's another mistake that I'm seeing. So Rennie, thank you so much for these questions. Here's a mistake that I see sometimes. The behaviors that you have are not necessarily the behaviors that everyone on your email list is going to have. So just for example, just because you don't like long emails doesn't mean that long emails is not going to convert and work well for you and your business. Just because you don't like phone calls doesn't mean phone calls is not going to convert for you and for your business. So you want to be testing. You want to make sure you're testing long emails, testing short emails, testing, you know, maybe using phone numbers as an opt-in if you require phone numbers to actually generate business. So test different things, because what we like might not be what other people like. So you have to kind of detach yourself from your business, because maybe email, you might not even like receiving promotional emails from companies, but if it's something that's generating you $5,000, so I don't want, you know, to be doing email marketing. Well, the fact of the matter is email marketing works really, really well. So you should be focused on it. You should be doing it. And even if you don't want to be doing email marketing and sending emails to people, email marketing is super important when it comes to you doing your paid advertisements. I can't stress this enough. I'm running some paid ads at the moment, and I've been split testing cold traffic against lookalike audience traffic, and the lookalike audience traffic that I am running is just, it's, you know, is beating my cold traffic by trust me, you're going to kick yourself if you haven't been collecting data, if you haven't been building your email list, because it's super important. Who else have you got? We've got Ollie Thorpe in the chat. Great to have you on, Ollie. Sam's been killing these lives, man. Thank you, Ollie. I appreciate it. So yeah, another thing I wanted to speak about is your follow-up series. Now, different email marketing softwares might name this something slightly different, but in Aweber anyway, they call it a follow-up series. And in most email marketing providers, I believe they call it. Now, again, you want to test these things, because when I first started some of my email lists, I was doing follow-ups. I was just doing follow-up series. So I would create an email and I'll put it in my follow-up sequence. So let's say you have 3 emails in your follow-up sequence. You can decide when those emails go out. So let's say someone comes to your website today, they opt in, they're on your list, boom, they receive their first email immediately. So the first follow-up should be whatever that person has opted in for. So when you go to my website, you download the formula. As soon as you type your name and your email address in, boom, the first email you get is the formula. So you should give people what you promised them as the first email where possible. Now you can also set up a second email, and you can set up when they receive that email. So they could receive it the day after, or a week after, or a month after. You can set it at whatever time frame you want. And if you, let's say you set up 3 emails, then those emails will automatically go out to those people. Now, what I used to do, which I don't do anymore, but what I used to do was I used to set up a follow-up series of a month. So anyone who comes onto my email list will have a month worth of automated emails. But you know, what happens to those people after the month? What happens after that? So what I would do is I would send a separate email once a month to the people who have gone through that initial kind of 30-day period. And then you can create a kind of a custom audience of people who have been on your list for longer than 30 days. So when you're sending out emails to people who, you know, are who've kind of gone through that 30-day period, you don't have to send that email to people who are already in that sequence, if that makes sense to you guys. So you don't want to be sending people multiple emails by accident. You want to make sure you're segmenting your list. And that kind of touches on some points that I wanted to touch in this live anyway. But I hope you guys are still with me. I hope that, you know, I haven't lost you anywhere. If I have, please do let me know. You know, send me your questions in the chat. If there's anything you really want me to cover, then do let me know, because we've been live if you have questions and you haven't answered them yet. So I have my own opinion. I heard your viewpoint, but that don't change my opinion. Okay. So yeah, it's not really about opinion. Like when it comes to marketing, guys, there's opinion and then there's just statistics, and statistics don't lie. So I always test, especially when it comes to things that can actually put money in your bank account for your business. It's more about testing and see what works for your business. If sending emails doesn't work and you've got statistics for that, then fine, you know, but it's not hurting me. It's not hurting anybody else but yourself if you're not testing to see what actually is going to work for your business. So just as an example, like I've been mentioning, I'm running some Facebook ads, some fresh Facebook ads at the moment. And there's certain things I was doing that just wasn't working. So I'm testing other things and I'm getting better results. So you might have a theory about what might work. You might have watched a YouTube video or read a book about what might work, but you want to actually implement it. You want to implement it and you want to, you know, see what actually works for your business and what's going to drive results for you. So broadcast emails. So we've spoken about follow-up series emails, but you also have broadcast emails where you can literally write up an email and send it to your list right now. You can also schedule those emails as well to go live, but those are different than your follow-up series. So your follow-up series, you know, is a scheduled kind of sequence of emails that can go out, but your broadcast emails are normally like your just an email that you want to send to your list today, or you can schedule it for next week or whatnot. So an example of how I use these, I do my best to try and email all of my lists at least once a week. And all of these things as well, I want you to be keeping these things in mind, because all of these things are important. And if this is a feature, for example, that you want to implement within your business and within your email marketing, then you want to make sure that the email marketing software that you're using actually allows you to do all of these things, because not all of them allow you to do these things. And if they do, sometimes you have to upgrade in order to do them. So you might see an email marketing software and it's cheap, and you think, yeah, I'm going to go for this one because it's cheap or it's free. But when you get inside of it, you realize, oh, wait, there's all these limitations. And to upgrade, it's actually more expensive than one of the platforms that, you know, I recommend. Like Aweber is definitely up there as the platform I use and recommend for you guys to use. But that is, I think it's $19 a month, but it's definitely worth it. You also have MailChimp, you have Constant Contact, and some other ones as well. So Moneymaker is saying some niche work best with certain types of marketing. If you choose not to use them for personal reasons, you might miss out. 100%. Like, obviously there's an ethics standpoint, but if you're getting people's email address in the right way, which is what I teach anyway, I only teach ethical marketing. If you're getting people's email addresses in the right way, if you're giving away things that people actually want, and if you're sending emails that are actually useful, you're not promoting bogus products. And, you know, I'm hoping that you guys, whatever you're selling, is actually going to enrich people's lives. That's one thing I speak about on this channel so many times. You know, I say we're not in business to make money, which will make a lot of people, you know, look at me and want to unsubscribe. But we're in business to serve. Your product or your service is supposed to meet somebody's need. You're supposed to meet someone's need in a better way than your competitors are meeting that need. And if you're serving that community, if you're serving your target demographic in the right way, then you're going to make money. That's the reason why Uber is so successful. That's the reason why Amazon is so successful, because their product is actually good and it actually meets the need of its customers. So, you know, you want to keep that in mind as well. Analytics, I've got here, someone was asking about analytics earlier on in this chat, but you want to make sure you're keeping a close eye on your analytics. See what's working with you on email. Maybe if you send out a certain type of email, you get a lot of people unsubscribing. Maybe you want to avoid sending those kind of emails. Maybe certain type of things in your headlines, like maybe you notice if you ask a question in your headline, that might get you a lot more opens. Maybe using a certain text. So for example, what I've noticed is in Aweber, it allows you to add a little button. So if you add a button, sorry, my click-through rate, which is the amount of people who actually click the emails, my click-through rate is higher than when I just add a link. That's something that I've noticed within my emails, and I wouldn't have known that if I wasn't checking my analytics. I also know like certain types of copy as well. I've spoken about sales copy on this channel. You want to increase your click-through rates. Again, that's the percentage of people who open your emails who actually click. Then you're going to want to improve your verbiage, improve the words that you write in your emails, and that can really help you to increase your statistics and your analytics. But you want to make sure you're keeping a close eye, and this goes for your follow-up series emails as well. You can kind of see what percentage of emails are being opened. And one thing as well, I don't know if anyone who has an email list has noticed this, do let me know in the chat. But one thing I have noticed is that when you do have a follow-up series, your analytics at first, so your first email is like 90% open rate, like 90% of people who get sent your first email open it. And then the second one might be like 75%. And then after that, it's just like a free-for-all. It could be like 40% one email, it could be like 60%. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but that's been my experience anyway with follow-ups. And that just kind of goes to show that the earlier you get someone as a lead, and you try to upsell them, the earlier you try to upsell them, the better. That doesn't mean that someone can't be on your list for a long time and purchase. I've had people who've been on my list for a year, 2 years, even longer, who end up buying something and they, you know, that was their first purchase. But, you know, if you can get someone in them early stages, make sure you're sending emails to your list at them early crucial stages when they're still engaged and they're still opening the vast majority of your emails. So response rate, I spoke about this in one of my YouTube videos. This was a while back, but this is something that I do. This is something that I always do. Unless you have a mammoth of an email list and you physically can't respond to emails, then I recommend sending emails and encouraging, not every to make your business. But if as long as it's not, you know, if you don't have a mammoth of an email list, then encourage people to respond, because that's going to help to increase your open rates as well, because less of your emails are going to be ending up in spam if people are actually replying to the emails that you're sending, because that's what a normal email would do. You would send an email to someone and they would reply. So if you know, Gmail and Yahoo Mail and Hotmail are noticing that you're sending out emails that no one is replying to, then that might decrease the amount of emails that end up in the inbox and increase the emails that end up in the spam. So unless it becomes a mammoth of a job, and you know, then you might want to hire someone. If you're making good money from your emails, you might want to hire someone to handle the responses that you do get. But yeah, make sure you're encouraging people to reply and to respond and to engage with your emails, particularly if your list is like, especially if you have less than 50,000 people on your list, then you know, in my opinion anyway, you should be doing your best to respond to people, because you know, 50,000 people might sound like a lot, but not all of them are going to open your email. Only a percentage are going to open, only a percentage are going to respond. So you just, you know, and even if you can't get to everyone who responds, it's still great to, you know, to have that kind of interaction with your customer list, and it's great for your email marketing as well. So tags and segmentation is something that I wanted to speak about. You can actually tag people on your email list as well. So I do this if someone buys a product on my website, and when I'm working with e-commerce brands as well, I recommend that they do this. So if you have an e-commerce website, so if you're selling products via your website, whether that be virtual products, downloadable products, even if you're selling consultations or you know, in-person marketing programs, or in-person, I don't know, where it might be seminars or something like that. But especially if you have e-commerce products and you're selling physical products on your site, you want to make sure that you're tagging people. If you don't know how to do this, it's going to probably be specific to whatever email marketing platform you are using, but you can Google it, you know, how to tag people on MailChimp, how to tag people using Constant Contact. You know, you want to make sure you do that. So what that means is if I have 10 products on my website and someone buys one of those products, then when they buy it, not only are they on my email list, but they're on my email list with a tag now that mentions their product that they bought. So that means I don't have to bombard them with emails selling a product that they've already purchased, if that makes any sense to you. So yeah, you want to make sure that you are actually tagging people who come in, so you can send specific emails to specific people at specific points in their buying process. You know what they've bought, you can upsell them another product, and you know, that will all be great for you. Moneymaker is saying some niche works best than others. I've read that one already. Big Stepper, great to see you in the chat. I have a question. If I was to promote a replay webinar funnel, it's not mine, what type of funnel should I use? Okay, that's a question. That's a huge question. I don't think I'll be able to answer that in this live, but it's a very big question. So I've done videos on funnel marketing. If you type in YouTube Sam Day funnels, then you will see a lot of the videos that I've done on that. But it's a very, very big question. And it depends on what the course is about. It depends on how many different you know, upsells you have or downsells you have. You know, it's a question all for itself. But what I will do now that you've asked that question is I will prioritize doing a live on sales funnels, so that you guys can kind of get the grips of what that is, because you know, I haven't even really explained what a sales funnel is in this live yet. But yeah, I'm going to prioritize that. I'm going to write that down, and I'm going to be doing a video live, especially on sales funnels, and explaining what they are, how to use them, why you should be using them, why they are important, and cutting out a lot of the BS as well that is sometimes online with regards to sales funnels, because it's a big hype sometimes, but I want to just strip it down, tell you exactly what it is and how to profit from it. So a shameless plug here, but if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe and click the bell notification button as well, so you don't miss when I go live with my other marketing tips, tricks, and tutorials. As well as going live, I also put out a lot of content on this channel that will help you to market your business online more effectively. I have the formula, guys. A copy of it is behind me, but you can go to my website, daytips.com. I'm going to write it in this chat now. Daytips.com. That's DEYTIPS.com. You can go to my site. You can download the formula for free. The formula basically explains traffic plus conversions equals sales. So whatever product you're selling, whatever you're offering, you need traffic. So traffic equals visitors. That's people coming to your site. But you don't just want any old traffic. You want the right kind of traffic. You want what's known as quality traffic. You want to also be able to convert that traffic into leads, which is what we've been speaking about in this live, which is email marketing or telephone marketing, text message marketing, or whatever it is. You want to convert that. You want to be able to convert that traffic into leads and into sales. So that's what makes kind of the business wheels go round, particularly online. So yeah, you want to make sure you head over to my website, download that if you haven't already. If you have downloaded it, then give it a couple of reads as well. It's not a comprehensive PDF. It's a very small PDF, so you can read it a few times. All of my emails as well that you receive as a follow-up of downloading that, you can respond to all of them. So I don't just preach, I actually practice what I preach as well. So you can respond to any email. You can email me at any time. My email address is on my website as well, sam@daytips.com. So send me an email. I'm on Instagram @daytips. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on everywhere. So if you're struggling with anything in your business, then feel free to reach out to me. I try to, do my best to get to every question that I possibly can. And yeah, I'm probably going to be doing a follow-up as well to email marketing, because it's a big topic. And I think my next one might be something along the lines of why they are not buying. So if you've got an email list and people are not buying, then there might be some things that you're not doing right, or that you can change or adjust to turn your leads into buyers. So that's going to be an upcoming live as well. And I probably will do some YouTube videos on that too. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have gained some value from it. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in my next live. If you are not already, make sure you're following me on Instagram. That's @daytips, DEYTIPS.com. Sorry, not .com, just @daytips on Instagram. And I'm going to be doing my best to let you guys know when I'm going live. So yeah, if you're following me there, then you'll probably know when I'm going live, so you don't miss it live. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope it's helped you. And if you're watching this and it wasn't live, leave your comments in the comment section down below as well. If you have anything specific to ask, then I'll do my best to answer them. Maybe even in another live, like I'm going to be doing for Big Stepper. If your question is big enough, I might put it in another live. So I hope you guys have been doing well. Just briefly to end this live off, I know there's a lot happening in the world at the moment. There's a lot of questions being asked. There's a lot of videos being posted on social media. I hope you guys are keeping safe with the current climate of coronavirus. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are healthy. I hope, mentally as well, that you're keeping yourself active, especially for those of you who are still in lockdown. Keep yourself active, keep yourself safe, go for walks when you can, watch something positive. And yeah, I really hope that things are going well for you guys. And yeah, I really look forward to seeing you in my next video. So stay subscribed. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.